Welcome back to the FIT40 Podcast. I have with me today an amazing guest. We are going to be talking to Marijane, one of my clients here in Greenville, North Carolina, that trains with me on the weekly, and she's been incredible. She's seen amazing results. And on top of that, she's an amazing example for people who want to get into fitness and maybe have had a doctor say something, or they're like, I know I should do this for my health, but I just never get around to it. So we're going to have an awesome conversation, and Marijane's going to give us all her secrets. So Marijane, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you ready to dive in?
I am. Let's do
All
it.
right. Cool. So for people listening, let's give them a little background on you. Like, were you a super athletic person? Was your fitness through the roof like your entire life? And you're like, I'll try strength training. Or was it a little bit different?
It was a little bit different. Yeah, I did a few sports kinds of things like track in high school, ran earlier in life, started walking when I had kids because it was easy to push them in the stroller. And I really, kind of dabbled in weightlifting and all that, but really didn't have anything that was a concerted effort to do so. Um, and so we kind of went along with that for a few years. And then I retired a couple of years ago and then decided that I needed to start doing something for myself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
I
then
know.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know retirement's that big time. I know a lot of people are having that conversation of like, well, I kind of want to enjoy this, so I should
Mhm.
probably do something. So I'm not just sitting around like all the other people that I see at this stage of life.
Yes, that was me. So I
Yeah.
found Yoga Strong and then met you at the one of the open houses and decided that it was worth a shot to give myself a try to, go ahead and do the 2 weeks, I think it was, and here I am.
Here we are.
Several months later, and it's been an amazing journey.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to the entry point, because I know a lot of people start with something like yoga or Pilates or something like that, what was
Mhm.
the thing for you that was like, okay, this is great. I want to keep it in, but I want to add in strength training? Because I think a lot of people think that that's like enough, or they don't want to necessarily do both.
Ah, and for me, I knew that yoga was helping with flexibility and strength and all that. But I knew just talking to my children and to my husband and to Samantha, the studio owner, that I needed to add on to it. I looked at it more of like having my cake and eating it too. So adding on the
Mhm.
ice cream to the cake. So
Good way to put it. Now, what was like the thing that got you to be like, okay, I should do this? Because I know a lot of people are stuck in that place of like, this is the thing I need. I know I do, but like
mhm.
nothing really quite pushes them over the edge. Like, what was it for you that you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it?
It was youngest daughter doing CrossFit, fine, and her having the conversations with my husband and with my other daughter and my other daughter's husband, and just thinking, hey, I should, get on the bandwagon too and just see what it's all about and give it a whirl. And I can't hurt if I do it for 2 weeks. And if I like it, I'll keep doing it.
Absolutely. And now here we are. What was it? That was back in like November-ish, and now we're
Mm.
in May. So it's been
Yep.
what, like 6 months?
6 months. Yeah.
And in that time, I'd like to know in the beginning what were like some of the big highlights, but like now, even like what are you experiencing that you weren't quite expecting?
Oh my goodness. Just the ability to stand up straighter, being a shorter person, we're subject as we get older to, bone strength issues and all that stuff. So standing up straighter, finding out that, I had muscles that I could, lift a couple bags of groceries, out of the car and into the house and all that good stuff. Same thing with big laundry baskets and that was stuff that, was getting a little bit harder as I was getting a little bit older. So I also knew that I had to start doing, the usual things around the house too. But just the fact that I really liked to walk, and there were times when I would pull a muscle or something just wasn't quite clicking right. And that also was, the other piece of the puzzle that told me that I had to get going. And then as soon as I started with you, the I got stronger in just all so many different little ways. So and that was the catalyst to keep going.
Yeah. And I mean, I know you mentioned that you were able to pick up groceries, but when Mary Jane is showing off, she will lift something like, I don't know, 135 pounds for a deadlift when she feels like it.
Yeah, that was kind of incredible. That was a great weekend.
Yep, yep. And for anybody who doesn't know, that was our Lift Her Up event where everybody was deadlifting and we were seeing who like how well everybody could do.
Yeah.
And I got to say that day was surprising. I knew you guys were strong, but wow, you guys kind of blew me away on that.
It was just really exciting to see everybody and see, their faces as far as how far they could go, and how
Yeah.
much they could lift, myself included. So it was really fun.
Absolutely. And it's interesting to see how you guys all move and carry yourself compared to people that are exactly your age or maybe even a little bit younger. Like, do you notice any sort of a gap between, like, say, you and your friends where it's like, wow, I could do this, but I don't think they can?
Yes, seeing different friends in different places. Yes, it's been fun to really see me going, hey, this is going to be okay. I can do this. I can do something, and I that's so I've talked to a lot of different people, and hopefully you've gotten a whole bunch of people that we have to, that I have talked to that have signed up with you. But the crusade keeps going because I think it's just so important.
Absolutely. What are some of those things that come to mind? I know you were like thinking about a few people in your head. Like what are some things that stand out to you that you can do that you're like, I'm glad I could do that?
Ah, um, just the different yoga poses. Some of the each month at yoga we have a different focus, and just the hips have always bothered me. So just being able to do a lot of the different hip sequences and just the downward facing dog, the cobra, all those others. It's just so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also being able to trek through like Costa Rica, for example.
Yeah, that too. The hike from Blazes and in the rainforest, but I survived. It was great. I was sore for a couple days, into the next week, but it was well worth it. And I credit that to all the training and strength that I had, to be able to attempt all the different heights and just different kinds of climbing that we had to do. So
Yeah. Yeah, that was impressive because I didn't realize how physically demanding that trip would be on you guys. And I'm like, wow, you did a lot.
we did. I mean, everywhere we had to go, even on the resort, was full of stairs and just inclines and things that you had to do in order to move around. So,
Yeah.
we were all very grateful that we had the strength to be able to do with that all the time. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we could just go on and on about the highlights because you've got a stack of them. But I think the other cool thing that I noticed with you and even with Dave, Mary Jane's husband, who also works out here, like you guys have an awesome family dynamic when it comes to the strength side of things and just fitness in general. So, can you like tell the people listening, like what exactly that's kind of like, you guys being so involved in fitness and just having that dynamic with your kids and everybody cheering each other on?
oh, it's an amazing group family chat, and the multiple phone calls, where everybody gets connected, and we all talk about the highlights of the week, and it's usually fitness based. I have one daughter that does CrossFit, one teaches and does Pilates, and she's a senior coach, which is really fantastic for her. Um, and I have a son-in-law who started to run with my oldest daughter, which is really cool. He thought he was just not really liking it, but she's encouraged him, and that's been pretty cool to cheer him on. And my husband's always so competitive, so he's kind of, we cheer them on,
Dave?
going, "You
No.
can." So it's always been, "You can do it. Give it a try, and see where it goes." So
Yeah.
and then they like to talk about all the numbers too, what we can lift, what we can do. And it's just been very, very fun.
Yeah. And it's interesting because like you guys know because you're having this rhetoric with each other, like what lifting numbers are like. And because
Uh-huh.
I know a lot of people will lift 10 pounders, 20 pounders and be like, ah, that's all I can do. Like it's different when you understand, oh, like when you actively try and lift weights, like you can do way more than you think.
You can, and that was I think the most surprising thing for me. You can really challenge yourself, and it's fun to see how much you can do, even if you can only do a couple of reps. That was me this morning, but it's such a good thing to be able to do.
Yeah, 100%. And at the end of the day, it does give you a reason to connect over something. Because I know
Yes.
a lot of parents, especially as the kids get older, it's like unless it's like grandbabies or something else that they talk about, it's like that's kind of like all they got to like really
Yes.
kind of be into. But
Hmm.
fitness can be this thing that's like a great connection tool.
Yes, it really is. And for us and for, different friends that we have family friends that all like to do something different. Some of them go to different gyms in their cities and stuff too. So it's kind of fun to kind of egg each other on a little bit. And it's just very rewarding for yourself, and at least for myself, for me, to be able to see what I can do.
Absolutely. And then it's also reducing the risk of ever falling off. Like, because I
Yes.
know that's a big worry for a lot of people is like, well, yeah, I don't want to stop. Like, I want to get it going and stay consistent. But when you have that
Yes.
community and people cheering you on and people expecting to hear about your fitness, it's a little
Yes.
hard to be like, well, I didn't quite keep. How would that conversation go with like one of your kids if you're like, yeah, I just kind of fell off?
Oh, they'd be good checking in with everybody else, so there'd be a ton of phone calls and FaceTime and everything else going, "What are you doing?"
Talk about accountability,
Yes.
making my job easy.
And it'd be more of a like, "What's wrong?" It's like
Yeah.
there's got to be something wrong. What's going on?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's huge. It pays off so much.
it does. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. So I mean, we've heard your highlights, your story, and I kind of like that this is short and sweet because it's so powerful being that
Thank you.
you've accomplished so many things in such a short amount of time, and I only see more and more going forward.
Oh,
But
that's awesome.
to kind of like put a bow on it, like if somebody is listening, like whether it's one of your friends in the community or even somebody else who's like debating going to the gym and seeking out a trainer, or maybe they're in
Hmm.
the area thinking about Fit 40, like what would you tell them if they're kind of on the fence and they just need that push?
Give it a try. You have nothing to lose. It's a little scary to set foot in the door, but the rewards and the benefits are just unbelievable, and really worth, that first step in.
Yeah. And as you're saying that, it's like there's a saying that pops into my head. It's like the heaviest weight you'll ever lift is the front door that first time.
Yes, that is so
If you
true.
if you can just get your butt in the door, everything else is easier from that point on.
It really is, and it makes it so much easier to plan your week around it too. Once you know that you've got the support.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mary Jane. I
You're
mean, like I
welcome.
said, short and sweet, but this is like a lot of great information for people that really need it because there's not enough people in the gym. Like, I feel like gyms should be like restaurants. There should be like five on every block because so many people are showing up and doing their thing. So I'm glad that we're
I
able to
agree.
contribute to that.
Me too. Me too. It's been an amazing benefit.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for coming on. And is there anything that you'd like to leave the audience with at all that we haven't covered yet?
No, I don't think so. Just
Okay.
get out and give it a try. And if you're here in Greenville, go see Brian.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but Mary Jane did. So now you have to. If you're in Greenville, you have to.
You have to. It's
Well,
it's all it's so much fun. Definitely
yeah,
do it.
absolutely. And if you want to see Mary Jane live in action and seeing how strong she is, 9 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays.
There you go. Come and join us.
Yes. Oh, please do. You get to see her, Dave, Mary, Richard. It's a blast.
It is. We have so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that 9 a.m. is one of my favorites for sure. But that being said, we'll wrap this up. So thank
Okay.
you everybody for listening. I appreciate you being here. I'll see you guys in the next episode. And thank you, Mary Jane, again for hopping on. Means a
Oh,
lot.
you're so welcome. Happy to do it.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, I'll see you all in the next episode. But until then, go kick some ass, everybody. Bye bye.
Definitely. Bye.